I'm Miss Maisie.
Hi, I'm Miss Malia.
Hi, I'm Marguerite.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi, I'm Sumaya.
Welcome back. I'm Miss Sumaya, and today we will be connecting what we've learned in our past videos and taking a look at what's happening in some school gardens. So far, we've learned about the parts of a seed germination, how to grow plants from seed and kitchen scrap gardening, making tasty recipes using beans, what's in soil, and all about worms. Today, we will be visiting 3 school gardens and applying what we've learned to take a look at what's growing in each garden. We will also show you how you can draw your own garden as well. Let's get started.
Hi, it's Miss Maisie. Today we're in the McMahon School Garden, and today we're going to explore a bit what's going on in the garden and try to put all those ideas we've learned about in past videos into practice. Let's get started. Our garden started back when snow was still on the ground and we were planting peas. Now you can see all the grass is growing and some of our plants are coming up too. We started our peas by soaking them overnight, just like we did in our germination activity. Then we planted them in the garden, about 2 inches apart. This is so that the plants have enough space to grow without competing for resources like nutrients in the soil, sunlight, and water, which are all some of our plant needs. If they're too close together, none of the plants will be able to get enough of those resources, and they won't grow into big and strong plants. I didn't start an observation log for these peas, although I did try to take pictures when they sprouted and then again recently now that they're about 8 inches tall. You can see there's a trellis so that the peas can grow up. You can also see the beans that I started last week, which are just starting to sprout. Like in our germination activity, these still have the cotyledons before their true leaves. Just like we started herbs and kitchen scraps inside, I had also started some cucumber plants in egg cartons that I'll now be transplanting into the garden. Ooh, can you see the worm in there? Yeah, is it good to have worms in our garden? Absolutely. The worms will help decompose the egg carton so that the plant's roots have plenty of space to grow. Yeah, we'll just tuck the worm back in. In this egg carton, can you see the roots of the cucumber plant start to poke out? This is telling us that the cucumber seedling is really ready to go into the ground, where its roots have more space and can absorb more nutrients. Do you notice anything else about this garden bed that's a little different? Yeah, there are a lot of leaves covering the garden bed. Just like we talked about in our soil episode, these leaves will break down or decompose into soil or the organic matter that makes up part of our soil, and this will help our plants grow really healthy. Now we're going to look at some radishes, which actually self-seeded, meaning they came up from seeds from last year when the radish plants grew too large, and some spinach plants, which were planted intentionally. Can you spot the difference between the spinach plants and the radishes? Yeah, it looks like the spinaches were planted more in even rows. Now comes my favorite part, harvesting. Look at our radish.
Hi guys, I'm gonna plant some different herbs in our 5th grade raised bed. So I have a few already started seedlings, And then I also have a container of parsley. In my already started seedlings, I have thyme, oregano, and then 1 cucumber, which is not an herb, but we're gonna pop that in anyways. That's because cucumbers are delicious. So with these type of pots, they're really nice because they're decompostable. So you can just plant them right into this pot. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm actually just gonna dunk it in a little bit of water, so the roots are nice and happy. And let's figure out where we want these. So I'm thinking of having a long row of this thyme. And I'll dig a little hole here and pop in some of this thyme. I'm not going to close it up quite yet. You can see what I'm doing over here. I have 2 different thymes, so I'm going to plant them kind of far apart from each other because thyme likes to sprawl. So there's another one. So we have 1 and we have 2. So I'm going to go grab some water. Now, the method that I'm using for watering is I have a bucket here filled with water that I got from the hose, and then I just fill up another container and then water around. Now this way, your water is not as cold and it doesn't shock those plants. So I'm just going to pour water around it. Now I'm going to cover it up so you can't even see that pot that we're growing the thyme in.
Hey everyone, it's Miss Malia and I am at my school garden in Belfast, Maine. Our students, teachers, and even community members work together to plant this garden, and then we take care of it, we harvest from it, and we eat the produce. Today I want to show you the greenhouse. Have you ever seen a greenhouse or heard of a greenhouse before? It's not green. So why do you think it's called a greenhouse? Well, do you think it's warmer inside the greenhouse than the air temperature, or colder inside the greenhouse than the air temperature? Yeah, it's warmer in there because the greenhouse traps the sun's heat, and so it's always a little bit warmer inside our greenhouse. And so we can start growing plants in the greenhouse when it's still too cold outside to start them. But plants can also burn and get overheated. So, around this time of year, I start to leave this door open just about every day so the plants don't get too hot in here. Here are some of our seedlings. We start them in the warm greenhouse so that they can get a bit of a head start. And then we bring them up and plant them in our main garden. Here we've got sunflowers, some watermelon, some kale, and some early burpless bush cucumbers. I hope you enjoyed seeing the greenhouse at the Captain Albert Stevens Elementary School in Belfast, Maine. Bye for now.
For this activity, we will be drawing our own garden. You can do this however you'd like. I started by outlining where I wanted my garden beds to be. You can draw your garden using a bird's eye view, looking down on the garden from above, like a bird would. I included some perennials like sunflowers and sage in my garden. I also included vegetables I enjoy eating, like kale and spinach, broccoli, tomatoes, and different herbs. You can also draw your garden to scale, meaning you draw your garden how you would plant it. You can use seed packets to find out how much space each seed needs and draw your garden using this information. Here is my finished drawing. I hope you can draw your own garden as well. Miss Malia's garden design shows a garden plot that is 4 feet by 4 feet long. She used grid paper to help make it to scale. On the graph paper, each grid square represents 4 inches. So for example, the beets are spaced every 4 inches apart, and the carrots are spaced 2 inches apart.